Are you guys ready to learn 7 ukulele chords with one finger? Yes, I'm Kalani. This is Ukulele Club. This is for you people who never played ukulele, who want to play ukulele, or maybe you're a player but you want to teach people. I'm going to give you a great place to start. This is magic, you guys. This is money, all right? We're going to do 7 chords, technically 6, but 2 of them have, or one of them has 2 different names. What are we talking about? All right, so I'm going to show you also the overhead view. I'll be right here, and you'll see the chords right here. So let's get started. First of all, our first 2 chords are going to be this. That's right, open strumming. All right, so you can strum however you want. I recommend a down strum just with a thumb like this. And this chord, believe it or not, has 2 different names. All right, we can call this a C6 chord, which means it's a C triad, C major chord with an added 6th degree of the scale, aka A, aka. So it's a C chord with an added note, which is the 6th degree. And later on, we're going to learn another chord that has an added note. So this is basically C chord. But if we strum all the strings, going all the way down, so we go to there, it's a C chord. If we go, if we add that note, then it's a C6 chord. But you can still use this as a C major chord. It's fine. It just has a little more, what we call color to it. All right, now, there's a thing called enharmonic, right? Enharmonic means it's basically the same thing, but we're going to view it from a slightly different lens, and we're going to give it a different name. And in that case, this is going to be an A minor 7 chord. Why? Well, if we pick a different set of notes, in other words, these strings, the bottom 3, we have an A minor chord because there's a C and an E and an A. So this will be our root. And then if we add this string, the top string, that's the 2nd degree, I'm sorry, the 7th degree of the scale in A minor. The G is the 7, the flat 7. So it makes what we call an A minor 7 chord. Again, it's still an A minor chord, it just has a little bit different color to it, a little more complex. But the good news for you is that both of these are super easy to play over, sing over, well, play and sing over. So if we root down in C, if we say that C is the bottom note of the chord, where the bass note is, are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John? Right? We could sing any song that is a 1-chord song, a major song, or any pentatonic song. All right? Any C pentatonic song. Now, if we decide that A is the root, then we could sing minor songs. Same kind of thing. All right? So let's move on. I think this is profound, though, because we're going to move on and learn the next chord. But I don't want to just gloss over this as if it's not important. This is super cool, you guys, because you can tune up some ukuleles, and I just did this the other day. You just tune up some ukuleles, and you hand them out to people, and you say, just do this. Just support the neck, with your other hand. Don't use your fingers over here. You don't have to do that. Just support the neck, and we're all going to strum. Or sometimes what I do is I give people the option to pluck. Let me show you in the overhead so you get a better view. So you can do this. You can have them pick any 2 strings, but I would suggest maybe the top 2 and just have them go back and forth if they want. That's an option. That's an upgrade. Free upgrade. And when we pluck or we play the root and the 5th of a chord, that's called a bordoon, and that's very grounding. But they could play any of these, right? The middle two or the bottom two or the top one and the bottom, you know, whatever they want to do. And then other people could be strumming or just playing one note, right? And that's fun for people who have never played before, and it ends up being, you know, more of a rhythmic thing, but it's also a harmonic thing, all right? So it gives you a lot of choices, especially if you're working in a group, which I do often as a music therapist and music educator. So this is the doorway to get into playing, and it's a very big door, and it says, welcome, all right? Let's move on and learn some one-finger chords now. And most of these will have just one name, I promise. All right, so the first one-finger chord that I usually teach is this one. It's called C7. And I like this one because as a part of teaching the ukulele, we learn the numbers of our fingers. So where's my shot? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Index is 1, 2, 3, 4. We generally don't use 4, so we're going to use 1, 2, 3 a lot of the time. And then the strings are 1, 2, 3, 4, going from the bottom up, like the floors of a building. Maybe that'll help you remember. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is on top. And then the frets, which are these bars, these little metal bars, are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., going up the neck. However, when we say press the number 1 finger on the number 1 string on the first fret, we don't play it right on the fret. We play it just behind in the space. So this is the first fret space, and we put our fingers in the spaces, all right? You could put it kind of right behind there, right, like closer to the fret if you want, but you really don't have to. So right in there. So this is what we're calling the first fret. When I say take your number 1 finger, do it now if you want, if you're watching with an ukulele. Take your number 1 finger, put it on the first string, first fret, and that is the C7 chord. You put the lime in the coconut and drink it all up. All right? Again, you can sing just about any, you know, pentatonic song, or there are some 1-chord songs. And here's a pro tip for you guys. If you go to just search 1-chord songs, right? Say list 1-chord songs, or ask, you know, your favorite AI chatbot, and it'll give you quite a few songs. I think you'll be surprised how many songs have 1 chord, or that you can get away with playing 1 chord, even though it might be a 2-chord song, but you can maybe get away with it with 1 chord, and that's empowering. This widens the doorway to music making and singing songs and song access, and that's what we're trying to do here. Okay, so this is C7. Now, we're going to take this finger and we're going to stay on the first fret, and we're going to move it up 1 string. All right, so I took my first finger and I moved it up to the 2nd string, 1st fret. Now this is called an F2 chord, or if we just strum the bottom 3 strings, that's an F chord. That's an F triad. Because we're playing a C, an F, and an A, and those are the notes in an F chord. However, if it's easier to just strum all 4 strings, you can do that. It's kind of like the, you know, the C6 or the A minor 7 that we did earlier. It's just a little more color in the chord. So it's an F chord with an added 2. So that's why we call it an F2. If you strum all the strings, or if you just strum the bottom 3, it's an F major chord, right? So what we can do right now is you guys just learn the C7, right? And look how close these are. All we're doing is moving our finger up and down 1 string. Same finger, same fret, 2 different strings. So here's what we can do. My grandpa said to your grandpa, I'm gonna set the flag on fire, talking about hey now, Aiko, aye, Giacomo, fina, na, na, ne, Giacomo, fina, ne, and I'm still kind of hitting that top string a little, and that's okay. All right, so no harm, no foul. You can do now, you have 2 chords, and they're a 1, 5, 7. 1 is the F, and C7 is the 5 chord. So again, you don't need to know a lot about music theory, but what you could do is do a search and search 1, 5, 7 chords, or 1, 5, 7 songs, or 1, 5 songs, same thing, and you'll get a list of songs that use 2 chords, and now you can access those. Now, you probably just heard, for me, this song in this key, or this key, when I sing this song, I'm either kind of singing low or I'm singing high, and that's okay. But what my point is to you right now is that if you're playing in F major, my grandpa and your grandpa sitting by the fire, right? I can sing there, but it's not super comfortable for me. So it may not be super comfortable for your group, which is why we play songs in different keys. But it's still accessible and it's still totally valid. And there will be songs that are better suited, because of where the melody is. Like for this key, for me, if I sing this song, it's a song in Spanish, P-O, 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 Pa, right? That's more comfortable just because of where the melody is, all right? I hope that makes sense. If not, leave it in the comments and I'll try to answer your question. But you can access all these 1-5 songs, right? With those 2 chords, and we're still with, using 1 finger, you guys. All right, so let's continue. We're gonna go up another string. So we're gonna keep climbing this little ladder here. So we started here with C7. We went to the easy F. Now we're gonna go 1 more string up. What is that? Baby shark, baby shark. All right, this is A7. All right, so it's the same type of chord as C7. They're both dominant 7 chords. They are major chords with a flat 7 added. Another super useful chord, A7. All right, so we've got our first finger, 1st fret, 3rd string, A7. And you can do any of the same songs that you could do with the C7, right? You're just going to be a 3rd lower or a 6th higher in range. So again, if you found a song that was a 1-chord song and you're singing it in C, C7, and it seems a little too high for you, you could try it in A7. It'll lower it a little bit. All right, or vice versa. If it's too low, you can go up to A. All right, so that's A7. Now, we're going to go back and we're going to use our middle finger. Don't tell anyone. We're going to use our naughty finger, all right? Before we do, though, and we've got a couple more chords to do, and we're going to use our 2nd finger and then our 3rd finger for the last 2 chords. But what I want to do right now is ask you guys to hit the like. Yes, I know you know how. Hit the like button right now and subscribe to the Ukulele Club channel if you haven't already. And if you'd like to connect with me more, which I hope you do, I have a lot to share as a percussionist, as a musician, as an ukulele professional, as an ukulele teacher, as a music therapist and music educator, then see me at patreon.com/Kalani and join us over there. And you can subscribe, and I've got full courses on so many. Just go take a look. There's a link below. Just look and see if it's a good fit for you. And if you decide it is, then you can join. And if you don't, it's okay. You can hang out here on YouTube for free. And you're welcome, and I appreciate it. All right, so do that, but at least hit the like button right now and subscribe to the Ukulele Club channel. There's no downside. All right, so let's go, and we're going to use our middle finger, and we're going to play the 4th string, all right, the top string on the 2nd fret. And generally, if we're using just 1 or 2 fingers for a chord, we're generally going to use the fingers in this configuration. Not always, but often, so string, fret, 1st fret, 1st finger, 2nd fret, 2nd finger, third fret, third finger, so, a lot of the time, not all the time. But in this case, and I'm going to give you guys a bonus chord. I think we're going to learn one two-finger chord because you'll see. I'm going to give you a bonus chord because I'm generous. All right, we're going to play this. Again, second finger, top string, fourth string, second fret. A minor, A minor. All right, so now you can do any minor key song over this, any minor scene. So any minor key. So you can just go to Wikipedia and look at songs in with a minor chord, or modal. You can put in Aeolian. Look it up. Aeolian songs, or one chord songs, one chord minor songs. And also you can do any pentatonic song over this chord, even if you usually do it in over C major, which we're gonna do next. There's so many songs you can access with these chords, you guys. You don't have to learn a lot of chords. I know a lot of people want you to learn like C, F, and G7 right off the bat, but you don't have to. There's so much music you can play. So, bum, 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 na, 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 na. All right? So that's A minor. Let's move on. We're going to wrap up with two more chords. One of them is third finger, first string, third fret, right here. Hopefully that's familiar. Doesn't that sound nice? And what are we doing here? We're doing C major. C major chord, probably, this is probably where a lot of teachers will start teaching the ukulele. As you can see, there's a lot of chords we can get to that are actually easier to play and, just as useful, really, before we even get to C major. But nothing wrong with starting on C major, but for a lot of people, it might be easier to play with just your index, or even your second finger. Third finger tends to not be as strong. Maybe there's not as much coordination there, especially with young players, very young children, or older adults, or people with disabilities who might need a little more time to get going. So make it as easy as possible. That's what I'm trying to do for you right now, and I hope you can appreciate that and feel it for yourself. So if you're playing along, hopefully you get it now. All right, so C major, and I'm holding my fingers away so you can see, but normally you could just let your fingers be wherever they want to be, not touching the strings, your other fingers, right? Just relax. Thumb is on the back of the neck. All right, so C major, any pentatonic song, any one chord major song you can do to C, right? Okay, now let's get to the bonus. I want to play with this view, and I'm gonna quiz you guys. So we learned this chord, which was, think back, this was first finger, second string, first fret. All right, and that is, if you're thinking A7, that's correct. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. F2, right? I'm getting ahead of myself. F2, right? So this was our F2, or if you play the bottom three strings, easy F, right? And we did that with the C. We went to the C7. That was our 1-5. All right, so we played the easy F, and we had this other chord, which we just did, which is A minor, and A minor uses our second finger, fourth string, second fret, right? Now, look what happens when we combine these. So we're going to do the F2, right? And we're going to do the A minor, but we're going to combine them. Watch this. And that, my friends, is the full F chord. That's just a straight up F chord. All right? Awesome. Now what we did there is we took the F, we took the 2, which was the G. That's why it has that kind of suspended feeling. And then we just made that into an A on the top. So we've got an A on the top and an A on the bottom. See, those are both the same note now. So we can play an F, and we've got 2 A's. We got an F and 2 A's and a C. All right, isn't that cool? Now, I'm not going to tell you what this chord is, but I want you to try to figure it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move my index finger. Watch this. I'm moving it up 1 string. What? What kind of magic is that? I want you to tell me what chord this is in the comments. So we go from here. It's like a sci-fi TV or movie chords. All right, so the question is, what is this chord? Which is a combination of A7 and A minor. All right, I'll give you that. All right, I hope you guys have enjoyed this this video, and if you haven't already, see me over on my main channel, my other channel, which is World Drum Club. You guys, I don't know if you knew that. If you're just on the ukulele channel, you may not know that I have 2 other channels. So Kalani Music, where I put a lot of stuff, mainly Native American style flute stuff now, and then World Drum Club is kind of like my larger channel. Although I love the ukulele channel, I appreciate you guys. So much fun. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you get something out of it, and I hope you get an opportunity to go and share ukulele with other people who, for some reason, don't believe they can play the ukulele. And I think we both just learned that if you have the right approach and you have the right knowledge and you know how to walk people through things, you know, you can bring music and the ukulele and lots of songs. Go look at those song lists. You're going to be surprised. You can bring lots of songs into people's lives, and you can access a lot of music. And it's pretty easy, easier than you think. All right, I'm Kalani. This is the Ukulele Club. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in another video.